Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 1, Section 5, Using Proportions to Solve Problems. Probably not friend problems, social problems, but math. Take a moment to define means and extremes, scale up and scale down, and unit rate with your group. Make sure you put these in your own words. You already have a definition sheet that has a definition on it. I don't want it to come from the book. I want to know what it means to you. So write those down, pause the video. When you come back, I'll walk you through the examples. Okay, welcome back. Means and extremes. This one happened a while ago. But if you recall, means and extremes mean we multiply the extremes, and that should equal multiplying the means. So A times D should equal B times C. But I know you guys aren't necessarily variable fans, so let's use numbers. So the extremes, 2 times 9 on a good math day should equal 6 times 3. 2 times 9 is 18. 6 times 3, you guessed it, 18. They equal each other, so it works. Now, for your problem. Tony traveled 300 yards in 30 seconds. How far can he drive in 1 hour? Not that you care, but each time we solve a proportion, you're going to be given 3 pieces of information. 30 yards, 30 seconds, 1 hour. If he traveled 30 yards in 30 seconds, we're going to put 30 seconds on the bottom because time is on the bottom. That leaves us with 30, actually it's 300 yards. I'll add a 0 in there. 300 yards on top, so we can drive 300 yards in 30 seconds. How far can he drive in 1 hour? Well, that's our time. So we want that on the bottom as well. But how long is 1 hour in seconds? Pause the video, go look in your notes. In that little chart we have, it tells you 1 hour equals how many seconds. When you find it, come back. Hopefully by then I'll have figured it out as well. After a long time of doing math, 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. And I want to know how far he can drive. That is my unknown. That's my variable. So that is our proportion. Okay, let's attempt to solve this proportion using means and extremes. Means and extremes, we should be able to multiply our extremes and multiply our means, and they should equal the same thing. So 300 times 3,600 is, break out the calculator, That's right, it is 1,080,000. That's a lot. 30 times y, 30y. Now, you have to say, we've seen this problem 100 times, well, maybe not 100 times, maybe 9 times, because we've got 9 KSSs. On KSS, 30 times what number will give you 1,080,000? Here's where we're going to use inverse operations, operations that undo each other. What undoes multiplication?
Division.
Division! Good job, class. Good job. Way to shout it out like that. So we're going to divide by 30. Divide by 30. 30 divided by 30, any number divided by itself is
1.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So we're left with a y. 1,080,000 divided by 30 is, are you already punching it into your calculators? It is 36,000 yards in 1 day. Good work, good work. Okay, now let's try to solve the same proportion by scaling up. I've already set it up, 300 yards in 30 seconds equals how many yards in 3,600 seconds. So I have to say, okay, what do I need to multiply 30 by to get 3,600? So in your calculators, you're probably going to take 3,600 and divide it by 30, and hopefully you got 120. So what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 300 times 120. Do the math, do the math. Calculate, calculate. Yep, you got it. 36,000 yards in one day. Pause if you need to. Make sure you have all of this written down. I'm going to be checking your notes. I want it to look exactly like mine, minus the penmanship. Our penmanship might be different. Okay, so last but not least, let's solve our proportion by finding the unit rate. Unit rate means that we have two different measurements. So we have yards and seconds, so those are different. And we have one on the bottom, so we have 1 second, so we're good to go. So we have to ask ourselves, okay, 30 divided by what number gives me 1? Well, any number divided by itself gives you 1, so 30 divided by 30 gives you 1 second. So what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 300 yards divided by 30 seconds. And use your calculators, boop, 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 or cross off your zeros. Divide by 3, we get 10 yards. So if we can go 10 yards in 1 second, how long will it take us? I did it? No. In 3,600 seconds, how far can we go? So we're going to scale up. 1 times what gives me 3,600? Times 3,600. 10 times 3,600. Not using your calculators. 36 times 1 is 36. And then you have 3 zeros, 36,000 yards. So, means and extremes, scaling up, scaling down, or unit rate, either way, we get the same answer of 36,000 yards in 1 day. Some problems are easier to solve using scaling up or scaling down. Some are easier with unit rate, some are easier with means and extremes. You have to determine which is going to be the best option for each individual problem. Okay, so I thought it might be better if I gave you an example. So I know that I can look at this to scale up and go, okay, 3 times what gives me 12? Well, 3 times 4. So 4 times 4 gives me 16. Extremes, 3/4 equals 12 over m. And then circle 12 times 4 is, do the math, 48. 3 times m is 3m. What operation, here I've got 3 times m. What's the opposite of multiplication? Shout it out if you know it. Shout it out if you know it.
Division!
Excellent, excellent. It is division, so instead of multiplying by 3, let's divide by 3. Divide by 3, cancel, cancel, because we know any number divided by itself is. Shout it out if you know it.
1!
Exactly. 3 divided by 3 is 1. M equals 16. Here, M equals 16. Sometimes it's not so nice. I can't look at 9 and go, okay, what do I have to multiply 9 by to get 15? So, means and extremes would be our better option. 10 times 15 is 150, because I know y'all just added the 0. 9 times A, yep, that's right, A for airs, is 9A. So I have 9A equals 150. How do I undo multiplication? Because right here, I have 9 times A. 9 times what number will give me 150? Let's divide by 9, cancel, cancel. And when you take 150 and divide it by 9, what'd you get? That's right, you got 16.6 repeating, or 16 2/3. So we can't take 9 times 16.6 repeating, because then we're estimating. And we know we don't want to do that. So here you had to use means and extremes. So choose the method that you like the best and solve it that way. Good luck. See you tomorrow.